with that, welcome everybody to today's video. It's called The Last One Standing and is about DaiSugaIwaOi. It's angsty but also a lot of her comfort, and don't worry, no unhappy end. I asked you for theories and oh my god, thank you guys so much for all the theories you left under that community post. It was amazing reading through all of them. Very inspiring. And, well, there'll be more videos in the future, let's just say that. But only one person actually got it right, and that was Hearts for Rumi. She correctly guessed what this is going to be about. So it was brought to my attention that all of the others get injured or in some kind of angsty situation, Suga, Aikawa, and Daichi, which left one last person missing, Iwaizumi. So let's go, and I hope you will enjoy this. Have you ever had struggles finding good Haikyuu merch or anime merch in general? Because I for sure did. It can be hard, but this shop offers amazing merch. Like, I'm literally obsessed with the Haikyuu merch. They have the cutest hoodies ever. Now, if you want to get 10% off, click the link in the description. They offer me a collaboration, which is literally amazing, and you support my channel this way. So, win-win. Let's go. It was a stormy evening. Rain poured in heavy streams from the sky, drenched the clothes, and crept down his spine. Iwaizumi almost regretted leaving the car to Suga. Almost. Since the start of the week, Suga started work at his new school. Changing schools in the middle of the year had been challenging. Luckily, a small private school not so far away had been looking for a teacher in his field of expertise. Theoretically, he'd be able to reach it by foot, well, train, but he was understandably still scared of walking alone. The first 2 days, Daichi dropped him off before going to work himself and picked him up after. As much as he wished not to be stuck in this cold weather, he couldn't bring himself to regret it. No matter how little the effect, if Suga felt even a tiny bit safer, it was worth it. He pulled the hood of his jacket deeper into his face to cover from the slicing winds, carrying blades of water. His sight was blurred as thick veils of water tore down around him. Iwaizumi hastily moved forward, hoping to escape the rain as soon as possible. His feet carried him down the steps to a small alley where suddenly the trainer lost his balance and slipped. He fell. His arms flared through the air as he collided painfully with the railing and the sharp edges of each stair. His teeth were clenched tightly, holding the pained sounds at bay that tried to escape his throat. An anguished groan, breathless, as he gasped for air, escaped his lungs when he finally stopped. His gaze slowly wandered up the alley to where he was before. He had fallen at least 4 to 6 steps before landing on the uneven concrete. A steady, throbbing pain echoed from his side, and his head started pounding. Reflexively, his hand flew up to his temple where he deemed the injury. He hissed at the touch and quickly looked at his palm, already expecting it to be coated in a red liquid. He was positively surprised when he found nothing but the blurred image of beige against a dark ground. No red. He forced a few more deep breaths before getting up, now completely drenched. It was hard to tell if his blurry sight was a result of the rain and tears, as he suddenly realized they slipped by unnoticed, instinctively, until he felt their warmth on his cheeks, or if he had a concussion from the fall. He definitely hit his head. With effort, he managed to sit up, but as soon as he tried to stand, he staggered. A sharp pain shot through his system like burning hot electricity. His muscles tensed while he fought to regain balance and drag himself toward the stairs. Deep breaths. Calm down. It'll be alright. Just gotta sit down for a moment. His head slumped against the cool metal of the railing as Iwaizumi tries to sort his thoughts. He hit his head, His side was at the very least bruised, and apparently his foot was injured as well. Great. Fuck. The longer he sat waiting for the rain to wash the pain away, the worse it got. The cold made his hands feel numb while inflicting pain in his muscles and joints. The icy drops felt like needles being poked into his skin. He was drenched to the bones, as waves of hot pain contrasted with the cold air. Nausea flared up in his stomach as the scenery swayed before him, and he cursed again. With a deep breath, he forced his muscles to move and got up. He needed to get home, then he could rest. He made it 5 steps before the pain got too much. Fuck. Why the... Shit. With trembling hands, he reached for the phone in his pocket, praying that it didn't break. Gratitude spread in his chest as he saw the intact display and quickly searched for Daichi's contact. Iwaizumi considered calling Suga directly, but he didn't want to worry him. The silver-haired was still jumpy and easily agitated. He wasn't sure whether Todo was home already or still at practice and didn't want to risk disturbing him. Hajime? Daichi. He could hear the strain in his own voice, drowning out the relief. He bit his lip, leaning against the nearest wall and trying to pull himself together. Is Suga home already? He is. Daichi paused, contemplating the reason behind his question, and was already prepared to reassure the trainer when Iwaizumi already spoke up again. Can you pick me up? A small chuckle echoed from the other end of the line, and Iwaizumi didn't need to see him to imagine his sympathetic smile as he watched the rain pouring down. Of course. I'll be on my way. Give me... Daichi, I'm not at work anymore. I was on my way already. At the street, by the bakery. Okay, I'll come and get you. He could hear the concern in his voice as he faltered for a second. In the background, Suga's and Kawa's voices echoed through the room, yet he didn't understand them. Thanks, Daichi. He hung up. With a pained groan, his body slumped against the wall to his right. A sour taste assembled in his mouth, and everything around him became quickly too much. Hajime! Daichi's voice tore through the steady thrumming of the rain. He cut through the silence like thunder, causing a wave of pain to flood through his head. He still leaned against the wall, a little bit more steady than before, but still unable to proceed home. It had taken a moment for Daichi to find and identify the slumped-over figure as Iwaizumi. Hajime! What happened? Are you okay? Are you... Daichi. He groaned. A pained smile tucked his lips upward as he met his gaze. Daichi's brown eyes were filled with so much worry and compassion. They reflected so much warmth and care. I'm fine. I just slipped and fell down a couple of steps. Daichi's frown deepened. He took in a deep breath and carefully helped Iwa to stand upright. Let's get you in the car first, and then you tell me what happened. Iwaizumi nodded weakly. Carefully, Daichi put an arm around him and helped him stand up. The trainer pressed his lips together tightly to suppress the pain cry building up in his throat. A sharp pain spread through his system and his sight blurred again. He leaned almost entirely on Daichi. The young police officer sat him down in the passenger seat, shielding him from the rain while making no attempt at getting out of the storm himself. What happened? Iwaizumi leaned tiredly against the back of his seat. He gulped and tried sorting his thoughts. I slept. met on the stairs. Daichi took a deep breath to remain calm. Are you hurt? Did you hit your head? He nodded. From the corner of his eye, he could see Daichi's eyes widened. He felt the faint touch of fingers against his forehead as the other inspected the area. Do you feel nauseous? He shook his head. Does it hurt? Yes. Anything else? Do you... My sight is a bit blurry and I twisted my ankle. Iwaizumi reached a hand out to cap his cheeks and smiled. Daichi had this concerned frown on his face, typically for when one of them was sick or hurt. Daichi, it's okay. It's nothing serious. You don't know that yet. What? I'll be fine. He gently caressed his cheeks and wiped the rain away. Come, get inside, love. You're drenched to the bones. Daichi sighed. He took his hand and placed a gentle kiss on top. The ride home was silent, for the most part. Whenever Iwaizumi relaxed and got too silent, he could feel Daichi's gaze on him. He would sigh and meet his gaze with sympathy. I'm okay, pup. It took a while until he noticed something afoot. His brain was still foggy and his eyes were falling shut again and again. Daichi, where are we going? The young officer looked at him incredulously. To the ER. A medical professional needs to take a look at your injuries. He sighed again. Is that really necessary? A bit of rest will do. Maybe, but I'd rather have it confirmed. You're a trainer. Think about what if one of your players got hurt like that? What if Toro did and refused to go to a doctor? I'd drag him there. Daichi laughed. You would, and I'm just doing the same for you. Iwaizumi smiled and gently intertwined his fingers with Daichi's. He was right, and the trainer knew it. The result was a slight concussion and a bruised ankle. The treatment: rest, elevate the foot, cool it. He sighed and observed Daichi from the side as they drove home. Don't look at me like that. It was necessary to get it checked out. Iwaizumi chuckled. I know. I just wished I hadn't been such a klutz. Daichi frowned at his words while parking the car in their driveway. The trainer was about to get up, but Daichi stopped him. He gave him a warning look. He sighed and let himself fall back into the seat. I know. I'll wait. The other smiled and kissed him on his temple. He swiftly walked around the car and helped Iwaizumi stand up. Together, they limped toward the door, rain pouring down on them heavily. The 3 steps toward the door were enough to drench them completely again. With one hand, Daichi tried in vain to unlock the door while supporting Iwa with the other. They stumbled and leaned against the frame. Laughter resonated through the air as they held each other. They almost fell into the hallway when the door suddenly opened, revealing a very confused-looking Aikawa. He looked at them as if they had lost their minds. A mixture of concern and bewildered amusement reflected on his face. Suga? Bad news. They've gone mad. Suga, who waited closely behind, looked equally perplexed before laughter bubbled up in his chest upon looking at the bizarre appearance of his partners. I see. How unfortunate. He smiled warmly and went to get them some towels, while the duo limped inside with some complications. Aikawa's eyes narrowed, and he lingered at the door frame to the living room. Iwaizumi noticed, and slowly separated from Daichi, leaning against the wall for support. The other looked at him disapprovingly, but sighed and let him be. What happened? He fell down some stairs. Daichi kept a close eye on the trainer, who in return avoided looking at him at all costs. Behind them, Aikawa tensed and fought the urge to immediately rush over and inspect his injuries. You make it sound worse than it actually is. It was just a couple of steps, and all I got was some bruises. The officer's eyes narrowed further, and he looked at him in disbelief. And a concussion. Don't think I have forgotten about that. He sighed. I know you don't want us to worry, but by downplaying it, you'll only make it worse. He still didn't look at him. Aikawa stepped forward and gently placed a hand on Daichi's shoulder. Were you at the doctor's already? Are you sure it's... Yes! God damn it, we were! They said I'm good to go, so could you... Please, just stop. He grew frustrated. I quickly caught himself once he saw the shock in Daichi's eyes. Aikawa next to him simply averted his gaze as though he was used to this. It left a bitter taste in his mouth, and he gulped. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... I'm fine. Please don't worry about me. Suga joined them again, towels in hand and a little confused at the sudden tension. He didn't ask though, instead he spread the big towel and placed it gently on Daichi's shoulders, who was the closest, earning him a mumbled thanks, before moving on to do the same for Iwa. He had taken his time, searching for the biggest, fluffiest towels they had. A comforting warmth engulfed him, and Suga's hands found his face as he kneeled down in front of him. Come inside first, yes? Then we can talk about everything. He nodded and begrudgingly allowed the silver-haired to help him up and lead him to the couch after he dried himself off with a towel. Suga had fetched them some fresh clothes and they were quick to change. The tense atmosphere didn't save them from the teasing comments of their boyfriends, and it ended with a towel on Aikawa's face. However, it failed to wipe away his stupid grin entirely. What did the trick was the splint around his ankle. Suga noticed too and urged him to sit down. Okay, what happened? He fell. The teacher's eyes met Aikawa's confused. He was on his side and elaborated. I fell down a couple of steps on my way home, twisted my ankle a bit and hit my head. I have to wear the splint for a while and need to rest because I earned myself a concussion. Suga listened intently. But you don't have to worry about me. I'm fine, and I don't want you to worry. Do you promise? He looked at him, love reflected in the big brown eyes, and such warmth, he swore he could feel it. Yes, I promise. Okay, then I trust you. Tell me if something feels wrong though, and don't downplay it. I know you want to be strong for us, but you're hurt. Take a break. Aikawa next to them huffed and looked away. He crossed his arms and didn't seem thrilled with Iwa's response at all. What? You always do this. I always do what? Aikawa's eyes narrowed at his sharp tone, and he looked seconds away from shouting at him. You always pretend like it's nothing. You never let me help you. You're so selfish. Selfish? Are you kidding me? I'm doing all of this for you. I don't want you to. A suffocating silence spread over the room as Daichi and Suga exchanged a wary glance, unsure of what to do next. What? Why are you surprised? Would you want this? Me hiding all my pains and worries from you and always putting on a smile just for the sake of it? That's different. How? He looked away. No, tell me. How is this any different? Because I'm the one protecting you. I've always been. Whenever you felt shitty about yourself, to tell you what a blind idiot you were. Whenever you... A relationship goes both ways, Iwaizumi. The hearts almost stopped. Did he just... Toru, maybe... Don't you trust me? Iwaizumi's jaw clenched. You know very well that I do. There's no one I trust more. Really? Because it doesn't feel like it. Tears welled up in his eyes, but when Daichi extended a hand to soothe him, he simply flinched away. If you trust me, then trust me with your pain. Trust me to take care of you as you do of me. I can't do that. It was a low blow. Those very words put the nail into the coffin, and suddenly everything was silent again. The tears fell down Aikawa's cheeks more rapidly, but before anyone got the chance to offer comfort, he got up and left. He seemed to shortly consider leaving the house entirely, but then changed his mind when faced with the storm. Toru, wait. Suga ran after him, trying his best to hold everything together that seemed to fall apart. Thank you all for watching to the end. I hope you liked this first part very much. The second one comes very, very soon. And yeah, to all those who reminded me that the only one missing with getting injured was Iwa, here you go. Here you got it. I hope you liked it. If you liked it, consider leaving a like and consider subscribing, because that would mean that you won't miss out on anything in the future. And I think that's a pretty good deal. Do that. Also, you guys are so amazing. Check out my second channel if you like. And now I hope you have a wonderful and amazing day, because you deserve it. Ow. Bye.